So I did some local reporting this week here in Santa Maria, California, which is on the central coast of California, if you don't know it. It's about equidistance, maybe more to the south, between the Bay Area and Los Angeles, Southern California. That's why we call it the Central Coast. And, we're one of the cities off of Highway 101. And I went out because yesterday what we had was a rally. It's not a strike. The teachers aren't on strike yet. But teachers in the Santa Maria-Bonita School District are at an impasse with the district, the Santa Maria-Bonita School District. And the union is called the SMEEA, the Santa Maria Elementary Education Association. They usually just go by SMEEA. But I just want to share a little bit just so we know. Like I said, Santa Maria Elementary Education Association, they put in final offers for 5 of the articles up for negotiation, which the district didn't accept, leading the union to declare an impasse. When 2 parties jointly declare an impasse, it means they agree that no further process is possible without mediation. But in this case, the district did not support the union's declaration. So, the district is really just kind of trying, as one person I heard say, play hardball with them. And they said, well, we didn't agree to the impasse. The union has already filed one with the Labor Relations Board. So they have multiple concerns. One is the teachers are not allowed to include a full novel in their curriculum. That's kind of a smaller point. Of course, the pay raise is one point. And also the amount of time that the union president is allowed to dedicate to the union each week. And here it says, one of the articles of contention is association rights. The union wants 100% release time for its president, which would allow them to work on union duties full time. Right now, Jose Segura, the president, is also required to teach part-time. Quote, it's super difficult to run a union with over 900 members scattered across 22 working sites to have somebody who's just part-time and in the classroom part-time, Segura said. For me personally, it meant me sacrificing my work-life balance in order to meet the needs of my members. So they need, the district is asking for at least 50% release time, and, to be able to perform his union duties. Basically, if we look here at some of the quotes from the district really quick, they really are kind of being obstinate. Between last May of 2020 and December of 2020, the leadership of the Teachers Association did not respond to any of the proposals that the district provided on any of those issues, Ontiveros said. We've got to get out of this cycle of waiting and waiting, and then throwing our hands up and saying we're at an impasse. Let's see. And they considered a unilateral impasse. Segura, president of the union, said, we may have put some articles aside because we didn't really see a clear path towards the next proposal that didn't result in us just bargaining against ourselves. And so we focused on other articles where we felt like we could make some progress with the district, which is what we did. Let's see. So, it's interesting stuff that's going on. But so the rally was yesterday, and I went out there to see what was going on, and I have some footage of that. Let me cue it up really quick. But it really was kind of impressive to me to see the numbers, just the numbers of people. So this is here in Santa Maria along Miller, and right out in front of where the kind of the district building is. So you can see the teachers are on either side of the street, and they're all wearing blue. That's kind of like their union colors, their union shirt, SMEEA, S-M-E-E-A. And if I turn up the volume a little bit, cars kind of start honking. So I hope you guys can hear the audio as well. You guys are funny in the chat. But so you can see there was definitely more than 200 teachers out yesterday. And by some counts, they broke 300. Maybe teachers and their supporters. But this is quite a turnout for a smaller union. There's only 900. There's only 900 teachers in this whole union. And they got close to a third of their membership out there, which is pretty impressive. And there was a lot of support. A lot of people honking support. Pretty cool to see. And that's here in Santa Maria. And so, maybe some people weren't about it. Hey, SCMOO, SCMEEA. You're welcome. SCMEEA says, yep, we can hear it. Thank you for covering it. You bet. So they're chanting respect. And one thing that I came to understand was that, this impasse has happened after quite a lot of things have gone on. A bunch of stuff has happened during these negotiations, and part of it was just, frankly, the district pushing teachers to get back in the classroom before they were fully vaccinated, and putting teachers in danger, putting students and their families at danger. As we know, just claiming that coronavirus does not affect kids just isn't true. Kids do get affected by it, but of course they also bring it home with them to possibly their grandparents, their parents. In Santa Maria, California, we've had the most deaths of our whole county, Santa Barbara County. And we also, disproportionately, these were affecting our Latina population and indigenous population, farm workers. So, people who are low income, and maybe many live in a house, many generations. We had a few families in Santa Maria that lost literally generations. They lost an aunt and an uncle and a grandparent and, kids, all of this stuff. So it's pretty rough. But here is an interview with the organizer for the event, Jose. And funny enough, Jose has his own podcast, which I've been on. You can actually find that in the videos here. But let's just hear from Jose. Hold on, what in the world? I'm trying to get my video to line up right. All right, here it is. And here's the interview. So it's about 6 minutes. I will be here with you in the chat, but you can hear straight from organizers what's going on and why they were out there for this. All right, everybody, I'm here with Jose. Jose, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what's going on here today?
Hi, my name is Jose Rodriguez, and I'm the SMEEA organizing chair. I'm also the SMEEA exec board secretary. We have a huge rally here. We're all gathered in front of the school board here at the Sousa Center, demanding respect, demanding that we teachers be given more freedom for curriculum, like teaching novels to the whole class, a fair salary. We just want to be treated fairly and respectfully, which we have not been by the school district.
And SMEEA, we're talking about the Santa Maria Elementary Education Association.
Correct.
And the district is the Santa Maria-Bonita School District, right there,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And so the union has applied for an impasse with the
Yes.
Labor Relations Board. What exactly led to this? I see a lot of signs that say respect. People are chanting that word right now. What has been some of the disrespect around this impasse?
Well, at the heart of the issue, at the root of the matter, is that they are not collaborating with us. They're not taking into account our comments. They're not taking into account our perspectives. It's a very top-down authoritarian approach to running the school district. Teachers are not being included in curricular decisions with regards to the contract negotiations. The district is putting more and more work on our plate, and in exchange, it's like, here's 0.3% salary increase proposal. So it's like, are you serious? You want us to work an absurd number of hours, upset our work-life balance, which is already imbalanced in favor of work, and they offer us just nothing in return in terms of salary. But we don't work for the paycheck. I mean, we're here because we're teachers and we do this for the kids. But we should also be treated with respect.
And tell me how, the situation with coronavirus and managing being a school teacher among a pandemic has kind of weighed into what we're seeing here today.
Well, for starters, they made all these plans for coming back to school and did not include us. we pretty much had to do a demand a bargain to reach a memorandum of understanding in terms of workplace safety. But they were just ready to throw us back into the classrooms with all these kids without being fully vaccinated. So that was kind of an early battle here. And so you can see most of us here, we've really taken upon ourselves to go and get vaccinated. You might notice that some of us are wearing these vaccine bracelets, these wristbands, to demonstrate to our fellow teachers that we've been vaccinated. But we've really had to take it upon ourselves to be safe, to take the proper precautions. The district has done their part. I don't want to deny them that, but we've really had to push and fight, just for basic protections during COVID.
Okay. And I did read that some of the kind of impasse was over union leadership and the amount of time they're allotted to, manage the union as president. Like, how important is that for a union of this size? And I mean, it struck me as odd that the district itself can dictate what goes on in the union in the first place.
Right. So what they basically offered us in the negotiations was half-time release for the president. So that means half the time our union president, Jose Segura, will be in the classroom, and the other half he will be, conducting union business. Currently, he's at 100% full-time release. The district pays for half of that. The other half, we've gotten grants from the National Education Association. And so we propose full release for our contract negotiations. The district will pay half, and then we've offered to pay the other half. But regardless of the fact that it won't cost the district a single red cent to go full release for our union president, they've said no. And from our perspective, this is interference with our union. This is a clear demonstration that they don't want our president having the flexibility and the time to address the needs of our over 900 members in the association.
Very good. So yeah, it is 900 members, and we have a couple hundred out here on the street. This is Miller at Oak Street, right across from the school board. I had one other question for you. I'm a bit drawing a blank, as happens. But why do you think this is an important thing? Oh, I remember. So there's a couple things that from the district's point of view, they're saying that some of the articles they've replied to and that the union did not reply to or in time or whatever they were saying. Is that how the union sees it?
Well, I don't want to get into the weeds of that because I'm not on the negotiations team.
Okay.
But from my understanding, it's pretty typical for there to be some delay in response because we want to get a sense of the membership, or we need to come up with counter proposals and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into the weeds of that per se, but I will say that it's pretty common for us in any negotiation for there to be a bit of a delay. And I think it's just them, trying to play hardball by filing a perb against us on that.
All right. If folks want to support the union, what can they do?
Write letters to the school board, contact school board members, call the school district, call Superintendent Luke Ontiveros. Support teachers, support your child's classroom teacher. We need all the support we can get, not just from one another, but also from the community as well.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're getting a lot of folks out here honking horns,
Oh, yeah.
Making a scene, smiling and waving. So pretty cool to see.
Thank you, Joe.
Cool. Well, thank you, Jose. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate that.
All right. So that is the rally. It was not a strike. They're not on strike yet. This is an impasse, everybody. It's just an impasse. But there are a lot of different things at play here, I think. Paul in the comments, Paul Anderson, mentioned how really they're only offering a 0.3% salary increase, saying that anything even 3% in Paul's opinion would be insulting. I frankly think 0.3 is a bit much as far as like not a bit much too much money. I mean a bit much of a kind of like stick in their nose in it, like we'll offer you, it's a pittance basically. But we got to keep in mind like the year of COVID and how crazy this whole thing has been, and how teachers have just been expected to not only learn new technology, learn how to use Zoom, manage their classes across digital interfaces, but at the same time also now they're being expected to just be shoved back into the classroom with kids without proper vaccinations. I mean, the push to get teachers back in school and to get kids back in school was going on months ago, and let's see, I got a couple comments here. Send that vid to the Majority Report. Tyler Cannon, great interview, Joe. I'll have to share that with my wife. She's a union rep at her school. Hell yeah, man. Union strong. But I think the other aspect to this that's interesting is in California, you have a very vocal group of parents who want their kids back in school, but the majority, when polled, parents are not super excited to get their kids jammed back into school with the last few weeks of school before summer break anyway. And then, a lot of people are expecting kids to go back in the fall once there's more widespread vaccination. This story is in the LA Times. Parents struggle with a new dilemma. Is it safe to send kids back to school? And this woman here with her son, this is Katie Metza and her son Matthew Maximo, 9, outside their Southgate home. She has seen the devastating toll the coronavirus took on her community and is not comfortable sending her children back to school. And this is in Southgate, which actually I have family in Southgate. It's my wife's family, in-laws. They're my family. I'm very close with them, and so it's good to see folks in Southgate. Southgate is a more working class part of LA Valley, and if here in the story, Katie Metza knows full well the pain distance learning is causing her son Matthew. The third grader struggles with isolation, gets frustrated, sitting in front of the computer for hours, and is stalling academically. Still, Metza says she's not prepared for him to return anytime soon to in-person schooling at Bryson Elementary School in Southgate. Almost every family she knows has someone who has fallen ill with COVID-19. Her neighbor died of the disease, and his wife was hospitalized. And Metza has no confidence that her son's school, which before the pandemic often lacked toilet paper and soap, can keep him safe or prevent him from becoming infected with the virus and bringing it home to his grandparents. As you can see, multiple generations living in a home. Quote, I can try and teach him his multiplication tables or fractions, she said, but we can't get back our health or our lives. Wow. On Tuesday, an agreement reached between LA Unified and the teachers union that aims to bring students back to campus by mid-April set in motion a critical decision among LA parents. Should they send their children back? It's a question being faced by parents across the county as policymakers push for schools to begin reopening throughout California and have earmarked $2 billion in education funds for elementary schools that offer in-person learning next month. There's also other stories which are just... Geez, sorry guys, I keep doing that. There are other stories that that show that the majority of parents are not ready to send their kids back to school, and then part of it's that reason they don't want to risk infection. Especially only today, or was it yesterday or the day before, was the Pfizer vaccine approved for kids 12 and older, and we're still not at full vaccine. We're now at the point where more and more people are getting vaccine. It's available for everybody, but now the vaccine hesitancy and the anti-vax crowd are clearly making a dent in the lack of people getting vaccinated. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to read these comments right here. Skmoo says, many of us are also teaching both students at home and at school simultaneously, which has its own set of difficulties. Sigh. Wow, and that's the thing, the hybrid learning. So now you have kids in the class and then you have kids on the screen. Part of it's for this reason. Some parents aren't happy with they aren't comfortable with their kids going to school, and the parents who have been obstinate about getting their kids back in school have pushed for that. So now teachers are juggling both of these things. Trev Flat 5, imagine there are little kids out there that killed their grandparents. Yes, yeah. J. Andrew World, I'm getting my 12-year-old shot. You mean you're getting your 12-year-old the shot, the COVID shot? But, put in those... But you gotta be clear. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. I got to Got to work on that. Let's see. Yeah, so that was here in Santa Maria. The SMEEA has reached this impasse. We'll see how far it goes. But now, they filed that with the Labor Relations Board. There's going to be mediators coming in. And somebody asked about the novels thing. Yeah, and the thing is that the local curriculum says that they can't use a full novel. They can use excerpts of a novel in their teaching. So it really is just the district kind of reaching into the classroom, not giving the teachers their ability. It's funny when I've heard right wingers talk and say that the union doesn't give teachers freedom to do things, but here we have the district kind of making these decisions for, I don't know what they think they're doing, if they think that a full novel is too much for kids to deal with or use. If I actually, there was another story that just came out today in the Sun that talked with a teacher who kind of mentioned how using a full novel about something that maybe kids can identify with, like folks who are undocumented, especially in Santa Maria Valley. We have definitely a larger segment of the population that's undocumented, and it creates conversations about that in the classroom and at home. Let's see, Joey in MT here, trying to remember my state abbreviations. Most kids are in person. The ones not in school are struggling to keep up. The teachers are basically doing two full-time jobs at once. That's terrible. Paul Anderson says novels are cool, except Ayn Rand novels. Of course, that was old Ayn Rand was trending on Twitter the other day because of somebody said something like, what's the one book if you're on a date, and what's the one book someone says that they like? You're going to leave the date immediately, and it was an Ayn Rand book. So of course, but objectivism, right? So guys, that's that local story. That I actually did some on the ground, good old fashioned gumshoe reporting. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Like I said before, I'm an independent journalist. I actually, have reported on my community for years and years, since I was in high school, actually. And now I'm doing it on my own here on YouTube and on my website, politicalpain.com. You can donate at politicalpain.com if you'd like to support local journalism. But I honestly think that this is something, I'm on the left. I'm a leftist or a progressive or whatever qualifier you want to put in front of it. I don't want to be too factional or sectarian. But I do think that this is something that more left YouTube, internet people should do, is some local reporting. Look at because that, it's what do you always hear? All politics is local. But really, it's one of the ways you have the ability to make the most changes with whatever's closest to you. Politically. And this is the thing. This is why I think more progressives and left people need to run for school board. That is one of the most ignored public positions. And boy, howdy do, I can't believe I said boy, howdy, but holy cow, do right-wingers love to invade a school board. There are many, many, many stories about right-wingers getting into school boards and having conniption fits about, like an ethnic studies course because this is critical race theory, going all Trumper about it, MAGA style. Let's see. You guys are joking, making goofs in the comments again. I'll get to those. So I do think the left needs to kind of step up with local journalism, and that's what I'm trying to do here on Political Pain. So thank you guys for being here.